Stand and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Before we go into our consent agenda and the other items listed, Superintendent Mike Holbrook has a few things he just wants to speak about regarding our reentry program.
Well, first, good evening, and what I'd like to speak to you a little bit tonight is our reopening plan for Hamilton City Schools. We know that that's been a very, very challenging situation for parents and for staff as we've made the appropriate adjustments, but we do feel like the adjustments we made, at least currently, is for the best interest and safety of our students and our staff. We will be reevaluating that on a week-by-week basis, but starting on August 24th, we will be starting our hybrid plan in which students with the last names A through K will be attending on Monday and Tuesday, the 24th and 25th. And then on the 27th and 28th, students with the last names L through Z will be attending. The one misperception that's out there that I want to squash right now is the fact that those students are not in school for 3 days a week. That does not mean that learning stops. There are many activities in that they will be taking home with them to be working on during those 3 days, and that would be the expectation. So it isn't just 2 days of work. There will be available office hours for staff on Wednesday that will be communicated each week for students that may be having difficulty with that, and they can always email teachers. During the first week, we will also be diligent on distributing Chromebooks to every student in this district. So every student by the end of the first week will have an electronic device at home with them, and I think that that's really, really important for everyone to understand. That is not something that parents have to pay for, but it is something that will need to be returned at the end of the year. And so we feel much better prepared than we were maybe in March when we had 48 hours to plan for this. We have planned for the summer. In addition, we do have over 2,600 students that have opted for our Virtual Learning Academy, and we're excited about the educational opportunity that presents to them. So we are ready to start on the 24th of August, and we're excited to have our students back. We've been diligently working the last couple weeks on professional development with our staff, and we are currently, even as I speak this evening, having our virtual open houses in various buildings. So I would like to personally and publicly thank the board for all of their support. And once again, I want to thank our parents and community as well, as a difficult situation, but we're going to get through this. And you know, I'm excited to see what the opportunity, what the future brings. Thank you.
And moving forward here to, thank you, Mike, as well for that. Appreciate it. Before we move on to item C here, I just want to kind of explain. These are special motions that we're going to read into the record and then have the board vote on. I'm going to go ahead and read the first one about our reentry plan. And then, Lauren, if it's okay with you, I'll ask you to give it I guess I'll call it for the roll and then give it a first and second. So, okay, if that's okay. The Hamilton City School Board of Education hereby approves the attached reopening plan for school in the Hamilton City School District. The plan may be amended from time to time as needed at the direction of the superintendent.
Do you want me to second that?
We just,
I make the motion.
you make the motion to adopt it?
I make the motion to adopt the reopening, this motion for the reopening plans.
Second.
First by Mr. Sprague, second by Mrs. Baker. Mr. Hancock, we call a roll.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Isgro?
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Sprague?
Yes.
Mr. Weigel?
Yes. Okay, and then we also have a similar motion here for athletics, so I'll go ahead and read this. The Hamilton City School Board of Education hereby approves the participation of all Hamilton City School District athletes in both contact and non-contact sports from the 2021 school year. This plan may be amended as needed at the direction of the superintendent.
I'll make the motion.
Got a first by Mr. Isgro, second by Mrs. Matthews. Mr. Hancock?
Mr. Isgro?
Yes.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Sprague?
Yes.
Mr. Weigel?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Okay, and moving to item number 4, our consent agenda. You've all have received the consent agenda, and if you have any questions or comments, we'll entertain those now.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Seeing none,
I second that.
first by Mrs. Baker, second by Mr. Sprague. Mr. Hancock, call roll.
Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Sprague?
Yes.
Mr. Weigel?
Yes.
Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Isgro?
Yes.
Okay, and before we move for adjournment, our next meeting will be August 27th. School begins August 24th this year, and we appreciate everyone that has been working and being flexible, and we're going to make this year as good as possible with our amazing staff and amazing administrators and teachers. They've been preparing for this all summer, so. All right, if that's it, we'll move for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
First by Mrs. Matthews,
Second.
second by Mrs. Baker. We'll stand adjourned. Thank you.